It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Dinner, come in. Greetings and welcome to Ask Mizzou Playboy with the Glasses. Why does Mr. Rogers only wear one colored sweater? That's a very good question. And the answer is because he happens to like the color red. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could someone like the color red? Because red is the symbol of the devil. Mr. Rogers secretly knows his ways with the devil. And thus, in order to promote him, he wears a red sweater on every episode that you see of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Because the devil made a deal with him. And Mr. Rogers secretly sold his soul to promote this wonderful thing called hell! Which I am in charge of. Actually, no, I'm not. Satan's in charge of that. But I'm like second in command. Actually, no, that's not true. Mr. Rogers is... I'm like third in command. And hell is a wonderful place to go. If you don't mind the fiery pits of hell and you're okay with committing a bunch of sins, which I hope you don't. I hope you end up being up above. But hell isn't that bad now, is it? Of course it is. Wait, guacamole! Yes. What do you think of the TWiT website airing all the Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood episodes as an 18-day marathon? Well, I think that's pretty normal for Twitch. I think that's the whole purpose of Twitch now, don't you think? Come on! Bob Ross does the same fucking thing! Or Twitch does the same thing for Bob Ross! His shows are on all the time because he was like the next best thing to, you know, public access stuff. Nothing wrong with Sesame Street, of course, but Mr. Rogers and Bob Ross were the pioneers of the public broadcasting station. So of course Twitch is gonna take fucking advantage of it because they know that the public broadcasting service has like a big salary cap going. How else would they be able to fund all these shows? Oh, Fred Burger? Yes! Exactly. And thus, they're going to try and squeeze all the Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood episodes, and there's a lot of them, by the way, like, oh, I don't know, like 20 years worth of, into a wonderful 18-day marathon. If your mind is up for it, it will last the whole time. If it's not, you're going to hell. With guacamole. Yes. Where Mr. Rogers will be leading you down. Yes. Where is the neighborhood of make-believe? I don't know. Just smoke a punch of pond and you can figure it out yourself. In fact, let's ask Willie. Hey, Willie, where is the neighborhood of make-believe? Oh, I'm looking at it right now, Mama. It's all amazing with the trolley, Mama, and King Friday the 12th, Mama. It's King Friday the 13th. You're not in the neighborhood of make-believe. The neighborhood of make-believe has King Friday the 13th. You said the 12th. What's wrong with the 13th, Mama? You mean what's wrong with the 12th? No, the 12th doesn't make sense for Friday. You know that Friday the 13th is the most unlucky day. Hence, King Friday the 13th is the most unlucky day. Why am I even getting into an argument with you? I got a video to shoot. So like I said, smoke a bunch of pot and make it up yourself. And that's where the land of make-believe is. Of course, you could also use your imagination. Wait, guacamole! Yes. Where does the trolley go besides the neighborhood of make-believe? Hell! This is all part of that elaborate scheme by Mr. Rogers to sell his soul. He then uses the trolley to not only go to the land of make-believe... It's the neighborhood of make-believe, you fool! Shut up, Commander Loser! No one needs a corrector mouther over there. So anyways, they go to the land of make-believe. It's the neighborhood! Will you shut up? Neighborhood of make-believe... And once they go through the tunnel, the other end of the tunnel leads directly down to hell, where Mr. Rogers will kindly greet you and please you and do all the wonderful things for you, and teach you all about the natures of hell and life and all that wonderful stuff. It also makes a route up to heaven, but they rarely do that now, primarily because of that deal Mr. Rogers has with the devil. So yeah, if you're wanting to go to hell and through the land of make-believe, neighborhood! Alright, that does it. Nobody likes a correcting that. Dumbass. So if you want to go through the land of make-believe straight to hell, the trolley's your ticket. The best thing is, the admission's free. The only thing you'll have to pay for is your soul. Wick guacamole! Yes. Who is better, Mr. Rogers or Bob Ross? Well, I don't know. I happen to like both of them. Do I have to pick one or the other? Yes. Excuse me for a moment. No comment for the peanut guy. Fucking commander loser. Well, on the one hand, Mr. Rogers teaches you everything you need to know, and he has the land of make-believe, and he has the trolley, and he has Speedy Delivery, and he has all that wonderful stuff to teach you all the rights and wrongs of the world. Whereas Bob Ross basically teaches you how to paint art, which you could do with just about anybody. So I'd give the nod to Mr. Rogers. He teaches you way more than Bob Ross. Nothing wrong with Bob Ross, of course. I happen to like the man. In fact, I idolized him at one point. But Mr. Rogers teaches you more, and thus he is the king of public broadcasting stations. Which is why he made that deal with the devil. With guacamole! Yes! Is Speedy Delivery faster than Jimmy John's? Oh, you better believe it. In more ways than one, I might add. They're freakishly faster than the freakish fast delivery known as Jimmy John's. And by golly, is Jimmy John's fast. And so is a cheetah. Now, if you were to pit Speedy Delivery, Jimmy John's, and the cheetah all in one epic race, I think you know who's gonna win. The cheetah, of course, because it's the fastest animal in the world. But Speedy Delivery would come at a close second. And by close second, I mean like a dozen lengths behind the cheetah. And then Jimmy John's will be a distant third. And by distant third, I mean a mile away from the cheetah. But everybody knows Speedy Delivery is speedily fast. That's how Mr. McFeely rolls. In more ways than one. Now, I'd like to make a Speedy Delivery, if you know what I mean. Could you excuse me for a moment? I'm back for my Speedy Delivery. Now let's proceed with the next question. Is Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood the greatest PBS show of all time? Well, now that's a debatable question because there's a lot of good PBS shows that were on, like Arthur, although they're not that good anymore. Saga, the Chinese Siamese cat. Yeah, you probably haven't heard of these shows because you're too young to remember this stuff, which is why the commander loser, stop calling me that, kindly did all those PBS Kids shows reviews for you to look at. But let's see, what other one was there? Oh yeah, there was Barney. No, don't recommend it to him. And there was Teletubbies. Oh, don't do that. And let's see, what other one? I think Caillou technically qualifies. I think, I don't know. Anyway. Then you have Bob Ross, even though that's not a PBS Kids show. And then you got Sesame Street. And Sesame Street was actually really good. And Commander Loser could vouch for me on that. But then there's Mr. Rogers. It had a combination of everything. It taught you moral values. It had a lot of stuff for the kids. It taught you some stuff if you're an adult. So I would say Mr. Rogers is the ultimate king when it comes to PBS shows. Sorry, Sesame Street. You might do the same thing, but Mr. Rogers does it for both adults and kids. Which is why he made that deal with the devil. Oh, that joke will never get old. Just like me. Wick guacamole! Yes! Do you think Channel Awesome should do some kind of tribute to the great Mr. Rogers? Oh, you better believe they should. I mean, come on. If they can do a tribute to Siskel and Ebert, they might as well do one with Mr. Rogers. I mean, come on. Mr. Rogers is like Sesame Street. He was part of every generation's childhood. And even when you're an adult, you're going to enjoy this stuff over and over and over again. So of course Channel Awesome should do it. But I know they won't. I'll tell you what they should be doing, though. Making me a part of their channel. I have been through this time and time again ever since that guy with the glasses flew the coop. Do they listen to me? No! This is absolutely absurd. I am like the worthy replacement for that guy with the glasses, and they know it, and they're not doing anything about it. So Channel Awesome, I'm going to have to do it to you again. Let me be in channel, let me be in channel, let me be in channel. Will Batman and Mr. Rogers ever team up? I don't know if that's possible because, on the one hand, Mr. Rogers is kind and nice and caring. On the other hand, Batman's the complete opposite. Dark, grueling, ruthless. Well, he's not really that ruthless, but you get the idea. Darkness and lightness sometimes go well together, like yin and yang. And in this case, I think Batman and Mr. Rogers would be a worthy pairing. You wanna know why I think that is? Because I'm Batman! This is that Mizzou Playboy with the glasses saying there's no such thing as a dumb question, nor is there a dumb neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. You dumbass! A beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine?